and stuff. They'll do some more active learning, but then there is a PM group as well, where again they're reiterating the concept and checking to see if they're getting the concept and everything else down. So, and then they'll go do large muscle play in the gym or outside, and parents are starting to come pick up at this time. And that's a typical day.
All right, now you mentioned the ELL. What is that?
English language learners are our ELL students, and we currently have our Karen population with families that are speaking from Burma, speaking Burmese. We have a rising population of these families, Hmong families, Latina, Hispanic families, and so I'd have to say 10% of our population at this point are ELL. So just making sure, and then we have another 10% that are receiving special services through St. Paul Early Child Intervention Service. So these are kids that can't sit still, that need some additional supports, that have fine and large motor issues, so they have a physical therapist that's coming on site and doing some pull-outs with them. Some kids that have some behavioral issues that teachers have to work with in the scope of the classroom to help them thrive and learn, which can be a challenge at times, particularly if you have a child that's aggressively participating with peers. So.
How many kids come here on a daily basis?
Currently we have 69 children enrolled with a capacity for 78.
Okay. And what are some concerns parents have when they first drop their kids off?
Safety, supervision, and will their child learn? So the biggest thing is, is my child safe to be here? How are you guys going to help keep him or her safe? What type of supervision is there to help that work? And what is my child going to learn? I want my child to learn. So.
Are you involved in the home life of the kids?
That is my role. I am the first point of contact for our program. So anyone inquiring about care comes in and they take a tour with me, and I highly suggest people to go visit 2 other sites, at least one other site before they come to our program, so that they can see that there is a difference in programming from program to program. I want them to ask lots of questions, but my role is for them to come in, take a tour, understand what our practices, policies, and procedures are, see if it's a good fit for what they're looking at. What are their goals for their children, and how can our program help to fit? And then if possible, to bring the child and see how that child fits into the group. So that, and then I act ongoing as a bridge between the classrooms and the teachers and the parents to make sure that relationships get built, because our program is only as strong as the relationships we have. We are completely and utterly most built upon our relationships with our families. If they are not a part of their children's development, this program wouldn't work. So it's my job to make sure that that bridge is there. So.
All right, now this might be a slightly broad question, but what is the purpose of the CDC or its goal?
Our goal is school readiness, and it might seem broad, but it's not. Eliminating the achievement gap. The group of children that we are dealing with are a large group of minorities and socioeconomically disadvantaged youth, and with that comes tons of barriers, and we are breaking those barriers down in our program.
Do you believe that the CDC is fulfilling its mission or goal?
I think we're doing a very good job of it. I think we have a wonderful program. There's more that we can do. There's always capital that could help that, but I think between the partnerships that we have with volunteers, community partners, collaborations with the schools and McPhail, we are doing the best we can to incorporate lots of variety in our program. And when programs such as early ed programs usually don't have the money to operate, we've learned to use community resources to bridge those gaps. And I think we're doing a really good job at it. We could do better. We really could. What's it going to take to get there? We're always growing. We're always looking. So we'll continue to strive.
Yeah. All right, you kind of already answered this question, but what are some challenges that prevent you from fulfilling this mission? I know you mentioned that you need capital.
Money is all, and that's going to continue to be, particularly in this economical times. We have tons of families that call us on a regular basis looking for a scholarship, and our endowment actually utilizes a certain amount of that, so that means our program takes a hit. But you know, there's not a lot of capital out there right now for families receiving child care, and child care is really a work support. All of our families that are here, I could say probably 88 to 95% are all either in school, work, or doing both. And so child care is a work support for these families. And when they lose it, and we've had several that have lost child care through the subsidy cuts and other, they lose their jobs or they stop going to school, and that's a hit on our society, because these are families that want to be productive members of our society, and the cuts directly affect them and in our society as a whole.
What are some safety challenges you face here?
Safety challenges, the biggest safety challenges that I'd have to say that we face, right now we've got this curb and we're working on it. The street here, we're in a neighborhood street, but you have a lot of young kids and people that might fly up and down the streets. So one of the pieces is just, you know, once kids leave our building, they're back in their parents' hand, and it's one of those pieces, seeing kids run outside. We've had a couple close mishaps with kids getting hit by cars, and we're actually working right now to work with the city on a grant so that we can get a curb, so it's coming in here. We have children that run because of their behaviors or development that will take off from teachers, and that's a safety issue. And the way we try to combat that is volunteers, teachers being proactive and saying, I know this kid's a runner, so this kid's going to be my partner when we go for walks and stuff like that. Just really trying to see what's the problem and how can we get to it before it's a problem. Food allergies. I've been here 11 years. In the last 5, we've had a rise in so many food allergies: peanuts, eggs, dairy products, and juggling that with a cook, because all our food meals are home cooked, and you've got to look at products and see what's in this and what's in that, and being aware and having emergency plans on site and doctor stuff, and getting parents to go in annually to get those allergies tested, and that can be a lot of barriers for us. I think classroom teachers will say, if you ask them. But allergies, I think, and bees. In the summertime, we have the woods bee stings, so, and allergies pertaining to that. So we are doing a lot of managing little childhood diseases. So.
Right. At what age are kids able to play without constant supervision?
Not in our group.
Okay.
Not in our group. And, you know, as a mother, my son is 14, I still supervise. My daughter is 20 and just moved out the house, and I still supervise. So I think it's, you know, as an educator, and I think that ties into it, I think kids always need some sort of supervision, but when you can step back and give, I'd say probably you're looking at grade school.
Okay.
As starting to give some independence to, but at this age, we're teaching them how to play safely and appropriate, and I think they look to us to model that, so we have to be in it for them to learn it appropriately.
What are some differences in safety precautions between different ages, like 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and 4 to 5?
I can tell you in our toddler group, they are always climbing, always mouthing. So there's choking concerns, a lot more concerns with bumps and bruises. They trip over their own feet. So within that group, it's just their natural body learning to navigate the world and being really safe. And in toddlers, we don't have things. We have these things, these tubes we stick stuff in. If it goes in there, it doesn't go in the room, because then that's a choking hazard. With food for this younger group, toddlers can't eat grapes in our program unless we cut them 4 ways, so it's completely choke free. In our preschoolers, lots of bumps and scratches and bruising, because again, they're still clumsy, but then it starts becoming aggressive behavior when you're in group settings, because they're wanting to assert their way. Toddlers do that as well as the me, my world, and it's more learning, so it's the scratching, biting. Preschoolers, it's the I'm mad, I need to get it, I want it, and teaching them those pro-social skills. So the biggest concerns would be the safety, those safety pieces.
At what ages do you think kids develop caution? Or do you think that in this age group, they don't really have any caution.
Actually, they do. Attachment disorders are a huge thing in this age group. Toddlers, any of these kids getting dropped off from their parents to a new provider and that grabbing onto the parent. That's an attachment. I'm scared. I don't know that you're coming back. So toddlers have to learn object permanence and knowing that my mom's dropping me off, but she's going to walk out the door and she's coming back.